Two freshmen, true freshmen. Jackson Arrington from the state of Pennsylvania. Caleb Henson from the state of Georgia. Caleb Henson, he is a goer. He does not stop, and he doesn't give a rip who he's going against.
Forget about the future. For these two guys, the future is now. Two talented true freshmen, and here comes one of the fan favorites, Caleb Henson. Cartersville, Georgia.
Oh, boy. I am floating on anticipation for this.
Henson kind of caught everybody's attention early in the season. A huge win over Sammy Sasso of Ohio State, a 5-3 win. And here's the offense early on Jackson Arrington. Heavy hips being applied here by Arrington as he tries to bury Henson underneath, and he does a good job of it.
If you look at Caleb Hanson, his arms are kind of long. So when he got in that double, he was able to get his hips underneath him. Just from his frame alone, he looks like he can grow into a 57-pounder. Henson, that is.
Well, how do you want to welcome in your collegiate dual career, a win against Sammy Sasso?
Look at the slide by. He's trying to hustle here. He's chasing the other ankle. Good defense. Good defense by Arrington. That's just patience right now. Patience, tight whizzer. Keeping the hips in does Arrington. What I'm seeing, Sean, is that Hanson is getting to the legs. He is getting to the legs.
Hey, you bleeding? Yeah.
Little blood. There is no blood time per se. It's just a blood timeout, but it's not a running clock. And it might be good, you know, a little flurry here. And now the coaching staff can talk to their wrestlers and say, hey, look, you're doing a good job, but you need to open up here. These are freshmen, true freshmen.
See Jared Frere in the shot there, one of the assistants. And you take a look at this schedule in his first year. Caleb Henson, the win against Sasso, lost to Zapp, lost to Brock Mahler, and then a 6-2 setback to Yanni Diakomahalis. Most recently, an impressive win against John Milner. So welcome to the party, freshman here for Mr. Henson.
He's going at it. But this defense by Arrington is pretty stingy here. Now what? Good limp arm. Good limp arm. Right back to the single to get the takedown. Offense. Caleb Henson kept attacking. Let's see what he can do on top. What does he learn through the first semester wrestling top quality? What does Caleb Henson learn about riding? Conversely, what does Jackson Arrington learn about getting out about him? We saw that in the last match, Sean. At 141, it was all about riding time to make the difference in the winner.
Here we are, fourth match in. Low-scoring bouts through the first three weights. Caleb Henson trying to change that with his wide variety of offensive attacks, his fully stocked arsenal. Jackson Arrington underneath, trailing 2-0 inside a minute to go. Quick, compact, explosive return there by Henson.
Lacing the ankle and holding on now. The referee's going to look and say, are you just going to figure four and sit on it, or are you trying to use it? Relentless pressure by Hanson. Let's move it forward. And it's not much that Jackson Arrington can do with a head lever. When the head is right in the tricep, bicep, and the head's there, you can't do too much. Really solid end of the first period for Caleb Henson.
Ends up with a minute 35 of riding time, Rock, after the takedown.
So Hanson kept getting in, and then he did a trip to cover. So what he had was he had the single first, and then he limped on him and went right back to the single to get the takedown.
Woodland High School in Georgia. I was talking with Cliff Fretwell earlier this afternoon. Compound wrestling. And the state of Georgia, Rock, is just producing so much talent.
And it's not just football talent. They got some good wrestlers down there. And the nation is starting to see that the Southeast has really quality wrestling.
Henson, part of Woodland High School, wrestled for Adrian Tamatola. Coach Tamatola retired last season, but you look at the list of names who have went through that particular high school.
You go over there?
It's a pretty impressive list as the first brick comes in of the night.
So the brick is for a technical violation, locking hands. What
The challenge is lock hands.
the challenge is lock hands. So it's looking to see at that point was Jackson Arrington locking hands while Caleb Henson was on the mat. When you're on the mat and you lock hands, there is no reaction time. However, if you're standing on your feet and then you bring someone back to the mat, there is reaction time there. So what they're looking at, they believe Caleb Henson was already on the mat. So when those hands touch, that's by application locking hands and looking for a point. And so they're going to look it over, talk about it. Man, we saw locking hands last match. What's going on here? You don't see that too often in college matches.
Very rare. But if called here, it could be two pivotal calls as we take another look. Standing position. What do you think, Rock?
Now, there is reaction time. Reaction time is to the discretion of the official. Let's see what the call is.
The call's going to stand, okay?
All on the mat stands.
Yeah.
No lock hands.
Yeah, let me announce it first.
I got you.
Hey, out the way. After further review, the call is no locked hands, it stands.
And so the question is, you may have saw the fans that the hands are locked was down. It's reaction time. And also, it was in slow motion. So for you fans at home saying, that was definitely locked hands, it was slow motion. And since Caleb Henson was on his feet and being brought back down, there is reaction time granted. This is a frantic pace right here.
1, 2, 3.
Look at the creative. This Henson guy, he just goes. Wrestle real smart right there, but also Arrington, he's not shaking it. He said, I'm going to keep following you.
Arrington doing a nice job cutting into the riding time that Henson had built up in the first period.
And one of the things that Arrington had, he had a single, and what did Henson do? He's put his hand to the mat, which means start the count for the officials. And these are true freshmen. Wrestling like this on the mat? Get out of here.
Action coming our way and out of bounds back into the center. Minute 19 to go, second period. The riding advantage has been wiped out because of Harrington's effort in this second period. Jackson Arrington went 5-2 in Las Vegas, picking up valuable experience before this ACC dual schedule begins. Trying to bring Henson down, does for a moment. Man, Henson's just like the Energizer bunny underneath. He just keeps popping right back up. Relentless, making Arrington work for every second of the clock that he has in the riding position. And finally, Henson is able to get away. 3-0.
If anything, he knocked down a riding time. Mentally tough wrestling by both wrestlers. Jackson Arrington to stay on top, and then Caleb Henson to keep moving.
Both these wrestlers from powerhouse programs. We talked about Woodland and the state of Georgia, Forest Hills High School up in PA, Pennsylvania. One state his freshman year talking about Arrington, and then back-to-back his junior and senior campaigns.
What I'm seeing is that Caleb Henson is the aggressor on the offense, and we need to see a little more from Jackson Arrington in terms of creating his offense. We just haven't seen it because Caleb Henson just been moving forward. If he fires off a few more shots, he might get a stall call here.
Two upper-level freshmen, and no real surprise, not a lot of separation after 5 minutes. 3-0 lead. Caleb Henson of Virginia Tech, and we talked about the state of Georgia sending a lot of wrestlers to ACC schools. Been quite a few. You look at Chase Horn, the freshman heavyweight, Wes Lawrence, Matty Singleton, who we will see a little bit later on at 65.
Good coaching here, because when Jackson Arrington was standing up, he was sitting out, he put his hand over his ankle. So we need to see something from Jackson Arrington here. We've seen Caleb Henson moving forward. We've seen good defense by Jackson Arrington. But Jackson Arrington's got to create the offense here. It's only a 3-1 match. No riding time.
Any real surprise so far watching this, what you thought coming in?
The only thing I'm a little surprised about is that Jackson Arrington isn't firing off as much as I've seen him. But he's holding position. He's holding position. And we got to be careful, because Henson always goes hard, and we just got to make sure that he doesn't go too hard and put himself in a bad position.
Arrington gets hit with stalling. Henson comes in with a hit on the lower half. Takedown here by Henson will make it a serious uphill climb for Arrington. Henson secures the second leg and gets the takedown. 5-1, Caleb Henson.
He kept working for his shots and creating opportunities. I've seen Caleb Henson, and he is a goer. He is a goer, and he's not reckless.
One, two, three, four.
He wrestles the whole match. He doesn't let anything go. Caleb Henson looked very good. I tell you what, Blacksburg, you all have a star in the making. These guys are gonna keep going at it for years to come. And this is what we saw. The last takedown, he covers the hip, come across the body. Every match that we've seen so far has been a tight one. This is what we expect from two top teams.